I have different celebrations that I like to do with specific groups of people instead of everyone all at once. And also not take on too much.
Stay away from
Even
Pinterest.
when mature people say, oh gosh, I'm going to do the whole 7 fishes.
Seriously? I own that comment. My favorite part of that was when Martin looked at me and goes, you do realize the kids won't eat this, right?
Truth be told, I looked at that last year and I go, this would be so fun. And my husband looked at me and said, you're crazy. No.
Okay. If it's
No.
if it's Clint telling you that's crazy, it is next level crazy. That is officially like bonkers bananas.
Look at all these great ideas.
Oh my gosh.
Welcome to Drinks with the Girls. Conversations for women over 40 around connection, change, and the power of female friendship. Living well with stories to tell. I'm Karen, and this is Lisa.
We are moms and solopreneurs stepping into our own, diving into real conversations about things that matter to women in midlife.
We're here to spill the tea on everything that affects women in their 40s and beyond. Topics like loss and grief, changing relationships, launching kids, menopause, and reinventing ourselves in midlife. We are here to tackle it all.
Connect with us through a blend of our lived experiences, our friendship, the memory of our moms, plus a collection of real stories, honest conversations, and engaging interviews that will make women over 40 feel seen and remind them that they're not alone on this journey called life. Let's go.
Welcome back to another episode of Drinks with the Girls. This is going to be an amazing episode. We have somebody that you've heard before. She's back. But before we get into it, I'm going to let you know what I'm drinking because I'm so excited about this. I can't even stand it.
Oh, my.
Yes, all my Gen X babes, who's pretty much all of us.
Wait. Do
you remember?
Let me get, oh,
Slice.
Yum. I love Slice. How did you find that?
I have no idea, but I found it and I was like, oh, hell yes.
That was one of my favorites. I thought you were going to say Tab. That was my other guess. I have a friend who was obsessed with Tab in college. And we spent many late nights driving around our town trying to score Tab.
I've never had
I
a Tab.
love Tab too. I've had Tab and Slice, both of them.
See?
And yeah, talk about throwback.
This is why I love my friends, because they're so
well,
smart
and evidently
lovely.
Slice got sliced. I think in the early, the early 2000s or sometime.
Yeah,
the
they
Pepsi's
eliminated
like,
it.
we're done with you. But it's back and it's supposedly new and improved with prebiotics, probiotics, and postbiotics, which I've never heard before.
Wait, hold the phone. It's like got good stuff in it? Oh,
yes.
hell yes.
Low sugar. It's 4 grams of sugar, 35 calories, and then all this good stuff. I have to say, though, the first drink, and I got the grapefruit spritz flavor because I'm all about all the citrus
I like
flavors.
the grapefruit, yeah.
It does have a little funky aftertaste, so I'm not. And I also tossed a shot of vodka in it. So
there you go. So, okay, I have a question. I have so many questions. So is it like Slice Zero? No, that wouldn't be Zero because it's Pepsi. So is it like Slice Light?
Nope. It just says Slice Healthy Soda, which is kind of an oxymoron.
Whatever. The other one I love is Fresca. Like they have different Fresca flavors now. Like the grapefruit Fresca. Oh, I may have to get some of that.
And Squirt. I love me some Squirt.
Yeah, I know. It's good too.
It's really good with vodka.
I'm feeling like underdrinked tonight.
What do you got in your glass?
I really should have just gone for a shot of vodka after the day I've had. So I am drinking Popwell. Can you see it? No. Hang on. Please hold.
Oh, there it is.
It is a Popwell cherry citrus. And honestly, I may duck out to go get a shot of vodka because it's good, right? It's a probiotic soda, but it's really sweet. Really, really sweet. So I don't know if that's like me just being pissy or it actually really is too sweet. But yeah, I'm feeling like a shot of vodka might I should have done that. Oh, well. All right. You know her. You love her. She is our cooking queen. She's made us all, even Karen, frankly, which is not an easy task, actually want to get in the kitchen. Sometimes, most of the time. And she's back for our holiday episode. the wonderful, the fabulous, the magical Lisa Potter. Welcome.
Thank you.
And the crowd goes wild.
It's so good to be back. I love talking food. You know that.
Yep.
Oh, first, I should probably share my drink. I'm drinking the classic Cab Sav.
See, I'm underdrinked. That's a new, like, when we have merch, like, that's going to be on there. Like, wait a minute, I'm underdrinked.
Yeah, that's a good one. Did you just make that up?
I did, because that's how smart I am. I'm just really actually bitter that I don't have vodka in there. Would it be bad if I told my husband, who doesn't drink, to get me a shot of vodka on ice so I can drink it? Because I'm seriously contemplating the morals behind that.
That would be next level fabulousness, because he always
He's
magically,
so good.
like, things will appear
I
on
know.
your desk while
Yeah.
we're recording, but it's
I'm
usually food. But
I'm pretty lucky that way. Yeah, 100%. I think he's gone to get my kid, one of our
well,
one of our childs from practice.
no
so-
vodka delivery for you.
God damn it. All right,
So-
back to food.
Okay, let's get into it. Holiday and cooking. So, if there's anybody out there who's going to be hosting for the holidays, Lisa, let's help them. Let's give them some good stuff, because I tell you, I've lost my steam when it comes to hosting holidays. I used to host Thanksgiving, and it's just like I'd rather just order Chinese.
And the Pinterest thing is like next level. Like, it's like, hi, make this like turkey, which is sliced in microscopic cuts with toothpicks so that it's perfectly proportioned for all your guests. Just follow these easy 30 steps. Hell no. No, not going to happen. All right, lay it on us, Lise.
Okay. When we started talking about this show, I thought back to all of the different holiday dinners that I've hosted or been a part of, and I found a pattern. I think when I was younger, let's say 20s, 30s, raising kids, celebrating all holidays full force, that is a very different feeling than I have now at this time frame and age. And before, I felt like I was all in, spend all my energy. It's all about the end product. But as I've matured, I've noticed that I prefer the connection and the time with people and being in the present than the whole shebang. So my view has changed a lot over time. So in this current season that I'm in, that we are all in, I find that I want to focus more on the connection piece than the physical stuff on the table that's going to fade tomorrow.
You are speaking my language, girl, because that's one of my biggest issues I have is that, when you're the one that's hosting the meal, you're in the kitchen the whole time. Like, you're rarely visiting, you're rarely playing games, you're rarely doing all the fun things. So how do we do that? How do we find that balance? So, whereas we can still host, but we are also connecting, we are also in the mix.
Exactly. I have come to ask other people for help. I've given up that control piece, and I have asked for help and
Look
other
at
people
you,
to
all mature.
contribute so that we can have that fun time together. The other thing I do is I prep probably for, a couple days ahead if I can. It's not going to be an all day prep because I want to have the energy for the time for that celebration. And so I might have things I can do like, you're trimming your Brussels sprouts and green beans and putting them back in the fridge while you're watching a movie or something. And so there's a couple things like that you can do ahead of time, but definitely including the other family members or guests that you're going to be having so that they can contribute to the meal. And I found an experience that they enjoy that. They want to contribute. So it was really me blocking that. So I feel like they're getting more satisfaction with the togetherness too.
Okay, I have a follow-up question.
Mm-hmm.
So traditionally, that's what I've done. I've done like a potluck, and I've assigned, people, okay, you bring this, you bring that, you bring that. And I don't know if it's bad time management or what it is, but I always find myself super stressed, like right before the meal is supposed to be served, even though I have other people that brought things and they're, assembling things or whatever. I still feel stressed.
I found that I also break things up a little bit for the season. So, for instance, each year I like to make a gingerbread house with
That's
specific
fun.
people, like just my kids and grandkids, right? And that's a different time than maybe I have a wine and dessert with friends, and that's just going to be friends only.
Oh, I like
So
that.
they're smaller chunks and it spreads it out a little bit. So I have different celebrations that I like to do with specific groups of people instead of everyone all at once.
Some
And
giant
I try to,
holiday party.
yeah, I try to play to their strengths too, because I have a couple friends that are really into wines. So I have everybody bring a bottle of wine and we try
Mm-hmm.
to guess and taste and do
Oh,
some
that's
different
fun.
fun pairings. And sometimes they like to bring like an hors d'oeuvre or a small snack that we can all try with it. So a pairing. We have a big cookie thing that we do with with the family. And I know that I invite the family members closest because we all kind of has the same recipes and the same cookies, but then we don't have to cook them all. So we kind of divvy them out. We come together and we all take a few of each kind. So we
Nice.
have a nice selection and no one has to cook all day. They're just cooking their one thing.
That's nice. I like that idea.
I love that idea of having smaller things with certain people instead of like the whole big shebang. Is that what you said, Lisa? The whole shebang?
Like
Yeah.
micro parties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Micro parties.
It's a little less overwhelming, than a huge group and a huge one and done thing.
Well, because of course, my answer last Christmas was cooking the 7 fishes or the 2.5 fishes while everybody else was in the other room. And then my dad complaining about why I couldn't come in. And it's like, so there was 17 grandmas that did this over 2 weeks before. And I looked at my husband, I was like, I've lost my damn mind. We're never doing this again. And I'm not going to, because again, it's that whole thing that we talk about, how I feel like women feel like they've got to be the keepers of the memories, right? We have to, and kind of like you were talking about, Karen, with the Christmas ornaments, when you were going through stuff, we're like, oh, here's this moldy pretzel ornament that you made in preschool. And they were like, ew, gross, right? And so in our heads, we have this whole backstory cooked up and they're like, why do you have my moldy pretzel ornament? You're crazy, Mom.
I am crazy. I have those. I cannot get rid of them. You know what my thought is? And my kids are 27 and almost 30.
Girl,
I'm like, okay, that's it. They're going to have to make more at this age. I don't care.
that's a good idea. You could do a grown-up ornament making party. I love that idea.
There we
And
go.
then-
I think I might do that.
And you can take your death grip off the moldy pretzel ornaments afterwards.
That would be so fun.
Totally.
You could have a Christmas tree decorating party of just ornaments that you make, either like gingerbread and stuff. Just hang all that on the tree. That would be so fun.
I love that.
That would be fun. Look at all these great ideas.
Oh my gosh.
It smells good too.
Okay, my other favorite thing about you, Lisa, is you're always like, let's demystify. You don't need to make a turkey for 100 people. So tell us some of I think we've talked about misconceptions, right? But tell us some of your famous hacks that you have that may not be apparent to people.
Well, I'm not sure if they're hacks, but I definitely like to play to people's strengths. So one of the things that I rely on, so I know my son-in-law, he loves different kinds of ham. And he has a connection to a meat shop that has these specialty different flavors. And so I have asked him to take care of that for us, and it's been the last few years anyway. And so this year he's bringing a caramel apple ham.
Yum.
Yes, and it's going to contribute to, we're going to have a prime rib that we're purchasing. So we'll have 2 different proteins because not everybody loves to have a big chunk of beef, It's just you want to play to other people's strengths and to their taste too. So I have a couple that's coming that is from another family, so there'll be a guest that has not experienced Christmas with us this year. But I want to celebrate also their favorite traditions. So I've asked them to bring their favorite dish. So there's different things that I try to work in so everyone feels like they're contributing that special thing, but it also helps them feel that they're really celebrating their Christmas too. Because it seems like if you go somewhere or do something different, it's like, yeah, that was great, but I really missed this.
Yeah.
And so they don't have that feeling. So I want everyone to feel included and contributing. So that's one way that I think about it. It's not necessarily a hack, but I do wanna make sure that I play to people's strengths.
Mm.
One of the hacks I guess I do, I don't mind buying puff pastry and phyllo dough frozen.
Hello.
Definitely keep that in my freezer for the holidays because I can whip up a lot of different apps very quickly just by pulling that out and sticking some stuff in it like
Mhm.
cheese and pepperoni.
Yep. And it's magic. I love using
Yep.
puff pastry that way. I can never duplicate my mom's pie crust because I think it just now it's taken on mythic proportions at this point. And I'm like, screw that. I'm just going to get frozen puff pastry. I made an apple pie last night that way. Boom.
So easy. I love that. Those two items they're game changers for sure.
Okay, this may be a stupid question, but what's the difference between phyllo dough and puff pastry? Because I kind of thought they were the same thing, but I think I'm
So phyllo dough is more of that really thin, papery pastry that you might find in some Greek desserts
like
or some
baklava
Italian
or something like
desserts.
that.
Yeah, baklava has it. Yes.
Okay.
Those types of things, but they can be used for other things as well. You can wrap like brie in it or yeah, which
Okay.
there's a lot of different applications, but puff pastry is more of that, like you mentioned, the kind of the pie crust, or you can prick it to be flat in some areas. That's why I make the bowl. So I just use a biscuit cutter and I'll punch it out and then I'll prick some holes in the center so they don't rise as much. And then you can fill it with something neat.
Ooh.
Would you be willing to throw a recipe in the show notes for us?
Sure,
Yes, please.
I'd be glad to.
Sounds delicious.
Okay, I have a hack. Why don't we all just come over to your house for the holidays and bring dishes? Because I'm like, yeah. Anyways,
I'm going to
moving
come
on.
for wine and snacks.
Seriously.
Another thing I make sure to keep in my pantry are different kinds of crackers and then a good selections of meats and cheeses, typically from Costco because they're very affordable. There are a lot of selection and they last a long time. So just keeping that in the fridge for the month, you can whip a lot of things out.
Hey there, I'm Lisa Coricella McDowell, your midlife Pacific Northwest princess, here to guide you in the art of next leveling your life. I'm passionate about women's health and wellness in midlife, especially for moms parenting kids with unique needs like I do. I truly believe we can learn, grow, advocate, and care for the planet while taking care of ourselves and our families. And I'd love to help you do the same. And I'm beyond excited to tell you about my membership for maxed out mamas just like me, the Empowered Parent Collective. It's a space for parents to confidently advocate for their kids, build inclusive communities, educate themselves, and find balance and support along the way. To find out more about the Empowered Parent Collective, my classes, wellness offerings, parenting tips, advocacy resources, and exclusive Drinks with the Girls goodies, head to nextlevellifewithlisa.com. Let's survive and thrive in the messy middle together. I love your pantry staples when you do that with us. That's great. So keep riffing on that because I'm all ears. So that's the first thing. What else do you keep it? Specifically at the holidays.
Cornichons, fig jam. I tend to keep the pomegranate pearls, the little seeds in the fridge because that adds a lot of pop of color. And if I can find it, green pepper jelly.
Okay.
So what's
yeah,
your go-to for the what was the other one? Fig jam?
Yeah, I like to put that with brie, and you can put that in some puff pastry or just bake it as is and just kind of and then maybe a few walnuts on top. One of the things also that popped in my mind when I thought about the green pepper jelly is some crackers with a little bit of cream cheese and then that pepper jelly on top with a couple of the pomegranate seeds, and it's just so Christmassy looking.
That sounds so, oh God, that's great. This weekend I made cowboy candy. Have you ever done that?
Oh, yes.
So Karen, have you heard of it before?
No. Maybe it has a different name, but I've never heard of cowboy
So
candy.
it's basically candied jalapenos.
Oh.
And so you get like the sweet and the tang and then the kick. And I made it with
Yum.
all sorts of different colored ones. So it looks really pretty. And I think what I'm going to do is throw it over like some cream cheese, like instant snack. So I'm excited about that. I got to see how they turned out.
Beautiful. Yeah, that would be so fun for Christmas. I love that idea.
I'll put that recipe in the show notes.
That's pretty good to have just a few, like, just different, all five senses really, the crunchy, the sweet, the tang, the spice, just having that, the texture and the depth that you can just throw something together really quickly. And crackers is a great base with like we mentioned, cream cheese, goat cheese, something different, fun, or puff pastry. It's pretty easy just to kind of toss some stuff together if you have that.
So what is one dish that is always a crowd pleaser?
For the holidays, boy, that's hard to put my finger on just one, but for instance, Thanksgiving, we typically have a turkey, and I do brine it overnight, and then we just
Love doing that.
bake it. So, yeah, it adds so much flavor. It's not a very difficult thing to do. I mean, you can make it 20 different ingredients like Lisa you mentioned earlier. But really, if you have the salt, the sugar, and the water, you're pretty much good to go. We can put that in the show notes too.
Yeah. I love doing
So,
brine turkeys. I actually feel like it helps them cook better. Like between that and putting like butter or something on the crust to skin rather to kind of crusp it up. I feel like it cooks more quickly on the inside. I don't know. Maybe I'm imagining things, but without
maybe
drying
more
out.
evenly.
Mhm.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. That's a big one. For Christmas, our family typically does a prime rib and a ham now. So those are kind of our big main things, which are not 20 things either. The ham comes with everything. It's just throw it in the oven. When it comes to this temp, put on the glaze, you're done. And it's already sliced. Done and easy.
Wow.
Yeah. So that one's beautiful. The prime rib, I typically have my butcher cut the ribs off and tie it so that we can just slice it easily when it's done. And really, I really like the savory spice prime rib rub. That's
what's that?
our favorite.
Do tell.
Yeah, Savory Spice is a shop that I buy a lot of my spices from, and they have their own mix. And so we can put that in the show notes.
Yes,
And
please.
Yeah, I just sprinkle that on and put it in the oven. And those are things you can do in the morning, and it's just set it and forget it. But the other things can just kind of come in as you like. If you don't have people bringing a bunch of dishes, what I typically do is I make my mashed potatoes a month before.
Wait, what? Okay. Lay it on us. Because you haven't killed anybody, so you're not serving moldy ones. So do tell. I love how she was like, got a secret.
Yeah. I got a secret. Okay, there are things that I do way before. People have asked me too, when they've come over as guests and say, how are you so relaxed drinking a glass of wine? You're about to have 12 and 15 people eat this food and you're just relaxing and visiting. I said,
works for me.
It's already done.
Okay, share the magic.
A month.
Okay. So my mashed potatoes, I cook them up, whenever I have the time, right? And so a lot of times I use my Instant Pot and I put a cup of water in the bottom with the rack and I throw all the potatoes in there and they cook for about 12, 15 minutes, depending on what size, till they're just all cooked to, mashing consistency.
Do you
then
use
I put
russets?
It through my
Sorry, what's your favorite potato to use for mashed?
Yukon Gold.
Okay, and do you peel them?
No.
Okay. See, I love doing it that way, but my kids are like, skin.
Well, the skin comes off so easy afterward. You can kind of it kind of are flaky, right? They split open and stuff. Okay. So I sort of peel off what I can. It's not going to be perfect, but I just peel off the majority of it. I throw it through my potato ricer with a ton of butter and milk, and I sometimes put sour cream and maybe cream cheese, whatever I have in the the fridge to use. Salt and pepper, season it well. But make sure you have it on the wetter side, a little bit more runny than what you're used to. And then I put it in the casserole, and then I put it in the freezer.
And then how do you heat it up?
So I thawed out overnight in the fridge, and I put slices of more butter on top.
Of course.
So when it's totally thawed out, I put it in half an hour to 45 minutes before I'm going to serve. I just pop them in the oven with a piece of foil on it.
That is legit genius.
Another hack, if you're doing turkey, I do the gravy ahead of time as well.
Okay, because the gravy is the bane of my existence. So, yes, lay it on us.
Yeah, I'm interested to know because I thought you couldn't really do the gravy until you had like the drippings from the
juice.
turkey and that whole thingy.
Yeah.
Right. So, like I was mentioning, about a month or so before.
Oh my God, there's the month thing again. That's craziness.
I know. I find turkey wings. I like about 3 of them. And so from there, I roast those off in the oven, salt and pepper, olive oil or butter on them, get them nice and crispy and get those drippings in the pan. And consider that too, to make sure it's not like a glass pan. You're going to want something that's metal, some type of, even like a skillet, if that you can put in the oven to easily make your gravy from that. So getting them nice and roasted. You could throw some veg in there if you want, like some onion and garlic. Roast those really well, and then you can use some of the meat off of the wings and chop that up really fine. Put those in for flavor, and then I'll mix all of that up. If you want to just freeze that and add a little bit of water to make it a broth, you could freeze that itself, and then add to the turkey drippings if you wanted. But you can also go ahead and just finish it off as gravy. But I prefer cornstarch. The flour does not hold the thickness.
Okay. I feel like cornstarch breaks up more too, so it's like a lot easier to make it less lumpy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So are you freezing it? Like when you go the whole distance and you make the gravy, then do you like freeze it or what are you doing? I would imagine.
I freeze it.
Okay.
Yep. You'd need cornstarch if you're going to freeze it with the thickening. So otherwise, you can just have that thawed out in the fridge overnight. Again, you just pour that in and thicken it up really quick and it's done. You can put that on hold or in the morning even and just heat it up later. So that's kind of one of those things you just reheat.
Genius. Okay, I have a quick turkey question. This is a bit of a squirrel, but I've been wondering. So sometimes my kids will want like a Thanksgiving casserole when it's like March, right? And I'm always like, yeah, no, and I'm not going to make it with like deli turkey because that's nasty. Do you have any hacks for that?
Try getting a turkey breast.
Okay,
instead.
That's what I was thinking. And just roast that and then do it?
Yep.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay, I prefer just getting that for deli meat too, because I don't really want the deli meat with all that stuff they stick in there. So
I know, it's pretty nasty.
Typically use that. Okay,
so what else are you making ahead? Because I feel like I need to figure out how I can make all the things ahead.
Mm-hmm. I do my stuffing 2 or 3 days ahead of time. So my fridge looks a little crazy right before Thanksgiving. I'll have already the casserole of potatoes thawing, my casserole of stuffing thawing, because I don't stuff it inside my bird anymore. And I have the jar of, I put it in a mason jar, my turkey broth. And then I'll probably have my casserole of trimmed Brussels sprouts from a few days before or green beans, depending on what that is. So all of those things are in my fridge. I make them 2 to 3 days ahead or a month and just thaw it out, and it's all ready to go. So the rest of the things like salads or something, people can bring those.
No, that's so simple. Like everything is done practically before the day. Okay, can we go back to turkeys?
Back
for
to
one second. Back to the turkey. So I brined a turkey one year. And, by the way, everybody always made it sound like, at least my mom did, that doing the turkey was such a big deal. Like you got to get up early in the morning and put it in and it has to. And it's like, no, not really. You just get a turkey bag and throw it in that thing in 3.5 hours. We're good to go.
Mm-hmm.
But so I brined it one year and I had to use like a bucket. How do you, is that what you use? Like, how do you brine your turkey? What do you put it in?
Well, I have leftover pickle buckets from a
Of course
restaurant.
you do. Of course you do.
It
Okay,
has the
bucket.
lid
I
and
wasn't far
everything.
off.
It's a
Okay.
5-gallon bucket.
So for all of us normal people that don't have the connections that she has, I do mine in a cooler. I do it in an ice cooler.
Nice.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Mhm.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yep.
I like that. That's great. Even one of those kind of igloo coolers with a
Yeah.
spigot, that's taller, like that kind?
I use a square
Okay.
one because we usually we order them from a farm. And so they're big and they just don't fit in that kind of thing. Like I did it in my sink one year and it just wasn't big enough. So yeah, I just do straight up like tailgating cooler kind of a thing. And I throw the ice and everything in there. And it's great because it gets submerged in all of that. And then it's got the lid. So you just put the lid down and
Great
fix it and
idea.
forget it.
Yeah. I do hold mine down with a plate
Because
if you need to weight it down.
so
Because if
stays.
it floats up a little bit. And I do the same brine and things with my chickens. I know some people don't like turkey. So if you use chickens, that's fine too, but you might have to weight it down and a plate usually does the job.
Okay, let's be honest. This is checking so many boxes, not just like the actual putting the meal on the table, but it's handling the pressure that women feel when they are hosting, especially a holiday meal, right? And it's simplifying things. Like it's doing things ahead of time. I think it'll be helpful for women, especially during the holiday time.
Yeah, it makes everything so much more doable,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So how do you make a holiday meal special without like really overcomplicating things or without, going on Pinterest and trying to do the 27-step, origami napkins or whatever? Like, do you have any
No,
special,
the thing is you're like being flip, but you can find that. I bet if I went on Pinterest right now and Googled 24-step origami napkins, they'd be like, here's your 5 different ones. What would you like?
oh
Yeah.
man, that's scary. But
Oh,
what do you think,
um,
Lisa?
if I wanted all of that, I probably would ask who wants to go to dinner because I
Yeah.
don't really, I mean, that's not what I'm trying to do. I just want us to all connect. So usually we have a couple of games going on and maybe a puzzle. And so for people who don't really like the confrontational piece and just kind of want to visit and then put a piece in here and there, they're great with puzzles. And if somebody wants to actually, play a game, that's available. So and then there's just people that don't want to do anything and just visit, which is totally fine. Usually there's a football game on in the background. So we just kind of do what we want to do and walk around and visit. No pressure, no expectation. For the table, if you're asking me about tablescapes or something, what I have done in the past, I have this one centerpiece that is for Thanksgiving particularly is a turkey. It's like a porcelain little turkey that has an open back for an arrangement. I will go to like the grocery store, get a couple of those bouquets from the grocery store, cut it up and stick them in there. And that's all I'm going to do because the rest of it is beautiful food and family.
Mm.
If I'd have made napkins in the past and a table runner that is for both Thanksgiving and Christmas and we celebrate Christmas. One side has fall leaves and the other side is just plain red. And so I can just flip it over.
So wait,
Nice.
time out.
One runner.
Time out. You made them?
Yes.
Okay.
I like to sew. So I took the measure. I just said, oh, this looks good enough. And I cut a rectangle and stuck them face together with some batting and sewed it. And that was that. But I can use it for both holidays because it has
That's smart.
red on the back and fall leaves on the other side. So that's kind of what I do. And then I stick that in the center. And then for Christmas, instead of the porcelain turkey, I have a gold charger that I put a wreath ring on, and I just add the greenery around that with a couple candles, and I call that good.
Love it.
So I just keep it simple. I'm not going to have tons of things I need to store. The greenery I'm going to throw away, so I don't have to store it. It's just a little ring, and I can get candles every year. So it's not a big purchase, and it's not a bunch of storage or prep. So I don't want that.
Love it.
My name is Karen Shatafian, and I am a shameless coffee addict and empowerment coach for women, and my love language is authenticity. My mission is helping women unapologetically design a life they're in love with. Because what the hell are we waiting for? My website, KarenShatafian.com, has all my coaching packages and free offers like my midlife reclamation guide. In it, you'll find tools to help you decide how to create the most inspired and empowered version of yourself and your life. You can find me on Facebook and Instagram talking about ways women can show up for themselves after decades of showing up for everyone else. Join me as we throw off the shackles and live our best freaking lives. See the show notes for all the details. Cheers.
Yeah, the storage, that's where I get hooked up because I have, no less than probably, 15 bins of holiday decorations.
Holy
But
crap.
I love it. Like, I love
okay.
it.
So it
Like,
brings you
for
joy.
me, it does. That's all part of it. It's just decorating everything, not the 27-step origami paper napkins. Let's get that. It's, the home goods, cute little reindeer, the guy. But these are things that I've had since my kids were young. Like I rarely, I don't buy anything anymore. But yeah, so for me, it's the decorating part is fun. The connecting part, Lisa, like you were talking about, of course. But yeah, it's just that damn food that always is a pain in my ass.
Well, and speaking of home goods, like Lisa, didn't you get like a Le Creuset there on sale or something? Like they have great stuff for the holidays for like super
Oh,
cheap.
yeah, that was actually TJ Maxx.
Okay. But isn't that same
Yeah.
thing? Isn't TJ Maxx home goods or am I dreaming?
I don't
Home
know.
Goods is better, but they might be
okay.
sister
Are they
companies.
separate?
Yeah.
I don't have a home goods, so I don't have access to that. But between my daughter and I, she lives in another town, so we connect and say, "Hey, Mom, I saw this at TJ Maxx. You want it?" So we kind of
Yes,
connect
please.
that way. Yeah. Like, oh yeah, grab that. So she gets some really good stuff at her store, probably better than mine. But yeah.
Well, and if you're patient, you can do the whole Facebook Marketplace thing. Like I've had some like, because Le Creuset is like bananas
Yeah.
expensive, but it lasts forever.
So I'm curious, do either of you have any disaster dinners that have ever happened?
Yeah. We've had things forgotten in an oven.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. We've had, I think it's actually both been a turkey and a prime rib.
Oh, man.
So it was just the bottom though, so I cut it off.
There you go.
I just
Wait,
cut
what
it off.
happened to it? What happened to it?
It burnt on the
Oh.
bottom. So I don't somehow I'm not sure who it was a request that I asked someone put that in the oven
Oh,
because
dear.
I was doing something else and the rack didn't make it in.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
So they set
So-
it in the oven, like on the bottom?
In the roasting pan, but without a rack. Yes, on the bottom. So both those instances, yep. But everything was done nice on the top. I just had to cut off the bottom before serving so that it's sliced nicely. I don't think anybody knew. And I will say, oh my goodness, my aunt, the first time she made a turkey, she didn't know there were giblets inside.
That's the classic
Oh.
mistake.
Oh, whoa. Yeah. Yikes. That's the worst part, honestly,
The
of the
plastic.
turkey situation for me.
Yeah.
Pulling the guts out and then lubing that sucker up. Oh. And you know what? My mom used to forget she used to forget one thing every
Oh my gosh.
every holiday, Easter, Thanksgiving. It was, it was usually like the rolls. It was never like one of the
Yeah.
main things, but it was
Yeah.
always one of those like side things. You're like, oh, you're done eating. It's like, oh, what happened to the vegetable?
I would say my disaster meal was the first, not the first Thanksgiving after my mom passed because we were all just catatonic and couldn't function, but the next year because she passed in October. Like, yeah, the anniversary of her death was just a few days ago, and so I was like, all right, the kids wanted to do it out at my dad's house, and my dad has this huge house, this massive kitchen, so I was like, okay. So I go out there and we're doing all the thing. And, my dad, of course, he's like, oh, it'll be great. He's like, you can use any of my stuff and you just do the cooking. And I'm like, oh, I just do the cooking. I see how this is going to go. Right. And so I don't know if he was like having a mental breakdown or what, but he was just obsessed with the fact that he didn't think my turkey was going to be ready on time. It was kind of like you said, like he was like, no, you've got to get up at 5 o'clock and do it. I'm like, no, you don't. It's like 3 hours. He's like, oh, and he was just freaking out, like to the point where he grabbed these cookbooks, I swear to God, and opened them up to like how to make a turkey and was like underlining it and like, see here. And I was like, I just looked at him like, have you lost your mind? Well, we're going to have a raw turkey. I was like, and then you can point the finger at me and then we'll never have to come over again. So how about that? It was perfect. And I looked at him. He's like, didn't say anything, of course. I had to like deal with it later, but it was just like, oh my God. And guess what? We never had another holiday there again. Cause I'm like, I'm not doing this. Like, this is ridiculous, you know? And I think that's part of it too, is really kind of choosing what you can deal with and choosing what you can't deal with and figuring out what's important and what's not important, right? Like pies. I'm completely triggered by pies because my mom was known far and wide for her pies. So it's like, well, screw that. I'll just buy them at the bakery. Like, why put myself through the emotional, like trigger response of that? You know, I feel like everybody has to just really think about like, okay, what am I doing that makes sense? And what am I doing that I think I have to do because I've decided that somebody thinks I should do that, right? And I think it's like as women, right? We're like, oh, I won't talk to them. I'll just know, you know, like I'll just know what's important to them. I think people would be surprised because when I've asked my kids and my family about stuff, they're like, yeah, whatever. How about you guys?
It goes back to the strengths too. I mean, you kind of mentioned that. Like, what are your strengths? What are you willing to, have someone else help or buy? And that's not as important to you because these are the things that in another bring you joy. Like the decorating. What brings you joy? What do you know are your strengths? Do those things and everything else let go for somebody else or a store to do.
Somebody else or a store. I like that. There's a store for that.
Yeah.
It's kind of a joke in my family because I am the sister that is like the least who likes to cook the least. And so I've had events where I've ordered in, I've done takeout, I've had it catered, whatever. And, it's kind of a joke, but it's like, to your point earlier, Lisa, it's like, that's how I can connect then, fully. Like I can be present, I can be available. I'm not stressed because timing everything. It's kind of a joke, but it's like I had to give up long ago, like just holding on to that. Like, oh my God, everything has to be homemade and everything has to be, and it has to be a certain way. And I think that's what women need to do. And I think we get better as we get older, as we get into our 40s and 50s, we really are just like, what the hell am I doing? I don't really need to do that anymore.
Well, and it's like if people are judging you for that, like you host the friggin' dinner. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you want to make everything from scratch, like, milk cows by virgins and like, handcraft leather napkin rings, go with your bad self. I will bring the side dishes.
Yeah. It was never judgment. I mean, it might have been secret judgment, but it was literally my own mind.
Oh.
It was my own.
Okay, so it wasn't people being like, Karen, you should really.
I mean, they tease me. It's like I said, it is a joke, but they don't care as long as we're all together. They don't care how it happens. It was my own mindset that I had to change, and also it's like, go ahead and judge me. I don't give a beep,
Yeah. Next.
Fine.
Thank you. Next.
Yeah. Sometimes we're our own worst critics and kind of just getting ourselves out of the way to actually see, okay, what's important and what do we actually need to do.
Yep. Totally.
And leave it at that. And then and ask or delegate.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think I had a lot of insecurity because my mom, she passed away when I was 26. And I didn't really have a lot of time with her. Like we didn't cook together. She didn't like teach me her pie recipe. I feel like those would have been things we would have done once I started having kids, once I started hosting and stuff. And so I always felt extremely insecure about my skills, my cooking skills, my hosting skills, which by the way, my hosting skills got great. Cooking skills, meh. But I think it was just, I had a lot of stuff, like I said, in my own mind that I had to overcome in order to, get to the place where it's like, look, we're going to just be together. That's the most important piece.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
So I have a question. Lisa, so we've made the mashed potatoes a month ahead. We've done all these like brilliant things that we can be present. If there's one dish that you're going to go all out for and really like do up right, what would that be?
You'll probably laugh,
Of course we
but
will, but it's great.
my my family loves my pies.
You know what? It's okay. I have trigger responses to those. I am fully
know.
aware of the fact that that is like
Sorry.
emotional baggage to me. That's why I asked,
Yeah.
so it's fine.
Yes, that is the thing. Like that, they don't even want like birthday cake or anything all year. If they're gonna have something, they want me to make pie. It's just I can't make enough pies in any
Yeah.
given time.
That was my mom. It's like pies.
That and cinnamon rolls. Oh, that
Yeah.
could be a good hack. We probably should put that in the show notes.
Yep. The
So
sourdough ones.
those ones are pretty good, but these ones I make at the holidays. It makes huge amounts. It makes about 7 pans. I go to like the chef store or something and
Holy
get a pack of
crap.
those aluminum tins, and it makes so many, just one batch, just one and done. You just roll it all out, you rise it once, you roll it all out once, but then you can just give everybody their own. So when they wake up in the morning, it's done. So that's a Christmas Eve thing.
Okay, I'm trying to picture this. So you're talking about the disposable
Yeah.
tins, like the aluminum. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
I'd
I
love to
make
see that recipe.
7 of those.
Holy Mother of God.
Yeah. So that's why I only make it once a year.
Yeah.
The frosting is maple syrup and bourbon.
Oh
Oh my gosh.
God.
Yeah.
We need that recipe.
Yes, please. Holy crap. You had me at bourbon.
Yeah.
Well, you had me at maple syrup, but there you go. Oh
Yeah.
my God.
It's a little mix. Yeah. It's like a maple-y bourbon frosting, kind of a glaze on top. Yeah. It is so great just to pull that out in the morning, and yeah, it's just done because you don't want to bake in the morning after all of the Christmas Eve festivities. And
So
Yeah.
kind of the opposite of that. What is your favorite like store-bought or something that's
good one.
already pre-made? You know, that maybe you enhance or maybe you add to something or maybe just as is, but that nobody knows. Like it's almost just as good as the real thing.
yeah, kind of just doctoring something up. Yeah. Well, they do have a baked brie that already has the crust on top. So I do like to use that, and I can top it with a little bit of fig and walnut and call it my own. That's a quick
Yum.
one.
I like that.
Just a little bit of extra, just 2 ingredients. But that's a good baked brie.
Does the fig and the walnut go on before or after you cook it?
After. So I just kind of spoon a little bit on top, and it melts down the top, and then sprinkle a little bit of walnuts to stick on top. Like if I just put some stuff together, talking back to that well-stocked pantry, if you have, just those crackers and the cream cheese or cheeses and meats, and you're kind of just putting all of that on a plate. I mean, it's not that you've made anything, but you've assembled something that is great and amazing and colorful and really tasty. So that's another thing. And using those puff pastry.
Mm-hmm. I was just going to say Trader Joe's is like a gold mine for that stuff. Like you can go in and get your hors d'oeuvres at Trader Joe's because they always have special stuff at the holidays, and you can have like a next level spread super easy, and everybody loves Trader Joe's stuff. Like it's that store is crazy. Like I've rarely had a miss from them.
Yeah. Like if you have the puff pastry, I just thought of one. Puff pastry, press it into those little cupcake tins, and then you can prick the center and the bottom a little bit and just put in some canned pie filling like cherry pie filling, and then just bake it like that. And you can easily just have a little mini pie without making the
Love it.
That's fun. Yeah, and back to the like charcuterie snacks and whatnot. By the way, that is also could be a meal for 20-something adult children.
Yep.
For sure.
So I got another hack that I just like to offer up on the altar here. I do sheet pan veggies for Thanksgiving. And it makes life so much easier because you can, right? You know how it's always like oven space is a premium? That's what I love about this is because it's on a sheet pan. So you can slide it like in a rack, like right under the turkey. I do delicata squash, like sliced delicata squash. And sometimes I'll do yams and do that,
Mm.
or like even just like cut apples and things like that. So I just throw a bunch of stuff on there and it's like, boom, right? You don't have to worry about oven space. You just pop that in like whatever, like an hour before your turkey's done. And that's a really great way to have a variety of, you can even do the Brussels sprouts that way. Just
Yeah.
toss it in like olive oil and stuff like that and comes out and you have like lots of different, like a variety of veggies without sitting there like, doing 30 pans of
Mhm.
different things.
Yeah.
I love that it takes up just a little bit of space.
Yes, because I think that's the big thing. Like my parents put 2 ovens in their house. So like raise your hand if you have 2 ovens. Potter, you're not allowed to participate in this.
Okay.
She probably has like 3, right? But it's not necessarily the norm, right, to have 2 ovens. And nobody cares until it's Thanksgiving and you've run
Yeah.
out of places to put things and then you're like, crap, now what do I do?
Okay, quick pause. Have we talked about the Pod Squad lately?
Oh, the Pod Squad. You mean our email list /VIP lounge /digital wine club?
Exactly. So listeners, if you're not on it yet, you're basically making life harder for yourself when it comes to podcasts.
Like trying to scroll for show notes while speed walking on a treadmill. Wait, what was that link again? Oh, no. Grab the side rails.
Or pulling up that book we mentioned while you're in the Starbucks line and then realizing everybody else moved up 3 cars and now you're that woman.
We've all been there. That's why we made the Pod Squad. You'll get new episode alerts every week with direct links. Easy to listen, easy to share.
And show notes straight to your inbox. So when we drop a life-changing product, book, hot tip, or yummy new drink, you're not rummaging through your memory like a woman searching for her reading glasses when they're on top of her head.
It's organized, it's helpful, it's for you, babes.
So join the Pod Squad. The link is in the show notes. Just tap it.
Snacks, sarcasm, solidarity.
And obviously, fighting the patriarchy.
We write at dawn.
Okay, how many ovens do you have?
Technically,
Oh, here
I
we
have
go.
2 built-in wall ovens. My microwave is also a
course it
convection
is.
oven.
Of course it is.
So, but I'm also going to share, here's a tip. If you have an air fryer, you can use that as an oven. So
Yeah.
that's another way to, like if your bowls need a quick reheat or if you, just whatever. I mean, mine does a lot of different options. So depending on what model you have, you could use that.
Yeah,
Oh, I thought of another hack.
of course you do.
So we were talking about like 45 minutes before, half hour before, or whatever. What about the timing? How do you know when to
Oh,
put
God.
everything in at once,
Yes.
right? So what I do is I have a sticky note on each one of my casseroles for when I'm putting it in. So if I know, so at first when I make it ahead, I'll say like 30 minutes or 45 minutes. But if I have the turkey end time, then I'll put the actual time I put in at. So if I have another person, like my daughter or my husband or somebody, go see if what anything else needs to go in. They can see, this is supposed to go in at 3:15. This is supposed to go in at 3:30, and they can just put them in at the right times. So I don't have to remember or be the only one in charge of that. So I do like to put how long it's going to take and then what time it's supposed to go in.
I like
That's
that.
an awesome hack.
I like
Yeah.
that.
Because you're sharing the responsibility. And also I thought, what is wrong with me that I cannot keep track of? So I write it down like on a note. I just
Yeah.
scribble it. But I love the Post-it idea because then it's just right there. Somebody can just look in, check it out, help.
Yep.
Yeah. Good
We
one.
have a Google Home in the kitchen. We have it in a couple places in our house. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with that, but does all sorts of stuff. It's like a picture frame. But what I like about that is it can set multiple alarms. And you can literally be like, hey, Google, set a timer for the turkey for blah, blah, blah. Hey, Google, set a timer for this. And it's kind of fun because it gives you like different little animations, right? So you like see a turkey up there. The other day when I was making the cowboy candy, I said, set an alarm for the cowboy candy for blah, blah, and it was hysterical. It showed me this animation of little kids like throwing candy everywhere and went, woohoo! And I was like, oh my
Fun.
God. But I think you could do it with a phone too and use Gemini or Siri, whatever. But that's really nice because a lot of times when I'm setting multiple alarms, I'm like, wait, what was that for? Right? And you're just like,
Right.
oh, is that this thing or that thing? And then you're screwed because you have no idea.
Since this is Drinks with the Girls, do you have any like meal cocktail recipes or maybe after dinner drinks
That's a
that
good
you
one.
like or your go-tos?
I have 2 drinks, one for Thanksgiving and one for Christmas, and the one we do at Thanksgiving is a pear martini.
Ooh.
And so yeah. And so
We're
I
gonna need
take
that
the
recipe.
canned yeah. I use canned pears, actually, but because pears are still kind of fallish, I like to have it. So I put that in a little bit of, like, apple cider, apple juice to kinda mix it up in the blender, and I use the pear Absolute, and so we mix all of that into a pitcher.
Of
So
course you do.
then we just pour it out on, with ice and stuff, so we can just pour those, and they're ready to go for our pre-cocktails.
Yum.
Yeah, and a little slice of, pear on there if you wanna be fancy.
Okay, I already have it visioned out. That's gonna be our little snippet that we're gonna put on social media to
Right?
be like, "Hey, you have to listen to this episode. We're just gonna talk about
Yeah.
the pear
It's like,
martini."
great episode, but you have to watch it to get the instructions. I like that.
The second one is at Christmas time. We usually take Village Beaujolais, the wine, and heat it with some spice, like
Oh,
a spice bag and some cinnamon sticks. So it's some mulled wine is
yum.
the drink of choice for Christmas.
I like that.
I don't think I've ever had mulled wine.
It's
I wanna try that.
good. It's really good.
Yeah.
You throw enough crap in there, it's great. So many holiday dishes, right? Like this is where leftovers like are king. So what are a couple, I mean, I could think of some things that I like, but what are a couple things that are better like the second?
So I really like a turkey tetrazzini the second day. Totally change everything up so it doesn't taste like Thanksgiving again, but you're still using the turkey. Or I like to make spring rolls. So I use the
What?
turkey. Yeah, yeah. So I use turkey and the rice noodles, of course, and then we choose some different herbs based on who's making what. We kind of make our own. And we dip it in a sauce made with the cranberry sauce with soy sauce mixed together. Very, very good.
That sounds so good.
Yeah, my only one for that is like I throw everything in a soup pot and make turkey soup. Just like the mashed
Yeah.
potatoes, like everything. Like we kind of work our way through the leftovers and we're like, nope, soup. Okay.
Wait, you put the mashed potatoes in the soup?
Because it thickens it up. Yeah, it's
Oh.
good.
Yeah, I could see that. That'd be good.
So rapid fire. How do you host something without a meltdown? Your best catering hack. It sounds like one of them was like make ahead, but what's another one?
The make ahead is for sure. Definitely the prep is so much of everything. Definitely have a plan. I backwards plan. So if I'm having dinner at 4, how long is each thing going to take and write it down backwards so that I know when I'm going to put everything in and when everything can be done at the same time.
Okay. I like
And I
that.
share that. That's not just for me. That's something that I put and like tape up on the cupboard so everybody can help, not just me.
Love it.
Fantastic. So what's your advice, maybe one piece of advice that you would give a woman out there? Let's say, I mean, I'm assuming by this stage in life, we've all hosted one or two, events, but maybe not. So if there's a woman out there who hasn't hosted a big holiday yet and she's maybe going to do it for the first time or one of the first times this season, what are, one or two things that you would tell her just to help her feel confident?
I would definitely ask someone else who's done it before. If you have a mentor or friend that's already done it before, to sit down and plan with that person to give them some idea of what to make, the timing, and also not take on too much. Maybe you
Yeah.
choose the main dish and one side and then ask for help on the others.
I think that's so important because, it's always like, oh, I'm going to have 30 dishes and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And you're like, oh my God, what have I done?
Right.
Yeah. And stay away from Pinterest.
Even mature people say, oh gosh, I'm going to do the whole 7 fishes.
Seriously? I own that comment. Okay, it became the 2.5 fishes just to let you know. But there you go. Yeah, my favorite part of that was when Martin looked at me and goes, you do realize the kids won't eat this, right? And I was like, Oh, this is ridiculous. He's like, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Truth be told, I looked at that last year and I go, this would be so fun. And my husband looked at me and said, you're crazy. No.
Okay. If it's
No.
if it's Clint telling you that's crazy, it is next level crazy. That is officially like bonkers bananas. Well, everybody will be happy to know I will not be doing it on my own this year. I'm so excited. My cousin has moved here, my Italian cousin. So we've already kind of laid out a plan and we're going to splitting it up. So we will do the feast of the whatever 3 fishes at this point, but I don't have to do it alone anymore.
Wonderful. I want pictures.
It's good stuff.
I'm actually doing a Thanksgiving brunch this year.
You said that. Do tell.
Oh, I love
Well,
that.
usually I host. Thanksgiving has always been my holiday. Sometimes I do Christmas, but it's usually been Thanksgiving. But this year we are going to have a new grandbaby who is going to be entering the world early November. So we've decided this year just to do Thanksgiving with our kids and our grandkids, just because so we don't, germs and whatnot. And our daughter and son-in-law who are going to have the new baby, plus our almost 6-year-old, they're only going to come for one day. All the other kids will come and they'll come Saturday and spend the night, and we'll do something Saturday night. But then the big meal will be brunch on Sunday. So I'm kind of excited about that because, turkey's great, but I don't know. Sometimes it's just not. So we'll see. I haven't made the menu yet. I don't know what we're going to be doing, but yeah. So we're mixing it up.
So no turkey brunch casserole, huh?
No.
Hell no.
Nope. Everybody can just relax and stay in their pajamas and
Yeah, that's really keeping it fresh too. It's just taking it, like I mentioned earlier too, this is a new season. This is a new season for you. And so it makes it fresh and exciting. And then you can create new things and experiences and maybe something that you want to carry on year over year. So you never know.
Oh, absolutely. And let me tell you, 2 months ago, I sent in the group chat the date to everybody. I'm like, look, this is our
what's going down. Put
it in your calendar right now. And they did. So yeah. So I'm excited.
Well, and I think that's part of it for me. Like this is, without getting into psychoanalyzing me because nobody's got time for that. But a lot of this is all wrapped up in like my memories of my mom and the fact that we had these huge dinners. And I was like, I saw that like fading away after she passed. And so a lot of the whole tradition thing for me is just desperately trying to hold on to that past with her. And so there's a lot of emotion wrapped up in that. And I'm sure that's why I haven't been able to let pieces of that go. So I've had to do some work on that and really come up with like, okay, like this may be a tradition that she did, but like if you're miserable doing it, then that's a whole other thing. So really just, I think there's a lot of that around the holidays with women, right? Is like feeling responsible for this stuff and feeling like, well, no one's going to do it. So I got to do it or the tradition's going to die. I mean, like I made myself crazy,
Yeah. It can be a really heavy load.
Yeah, and I think it's very common during all the holidays. We are the ones that are putting it together, organizing, cooking, the merry makers. You have to get to a point in your life where you're just like, what is really important? What is bringing me joy? What do I like doing?
Yeah.
What do I want to keep? And what is it okay to let go of? And it's hard. It's hard. Like I have one kid who loves traditions, who loves, all the things. And then I have one kid who could not care less. She's just like my ex-husband. It's like, she doesn't, it's just not important to her. And so, but for my one kid who does like it, it makes it harder for me to kind of let go of some of that stuff. But now he's, at the stage where he's almost 30. So it's like, I can start passing on some stuff to him and his wife. So,
yep, totally.
Yeah. And then you think about we are leading by example right now.
Mm-hmm.
So also teaching our kids that it's okay to let go of some things and certain things we want to hold on to. So it's also thinking about more than just the moment this year, but also the future. And then, because I don't want my kids to feel burdened or like they have to do something.
Yeah.
I want them to feel free to, that was really neat and I really appreciated it, but this is not my jam. That's okay. Maybe one of your kids will have that jam.
Mm-hmm.
Never know.
Yeah.
So I have actually taken pictures of some of our family history kind of recipes and the old recipe boxes and things that we've had passed on from great grandmas and things that maybe people don't like anymore, but it's there. And I put them into, I've made a family cookbook. And so in the pictures and in the photos throughout the book, I've incorporated some of those recipes that are handwritten. And we may not use them, but they're there in case somebody else does want to pick up that torch and run.
I love
So
that idea.
you never know. But yeah, don't burden yourself. Let it go and enjoy what you have now. But also remember that we're teaching our kids, our next generation, that it's okay to let go.
I have my aunt's recipes that we've all collected, but here's the crazy Italian twist. I'm pretty sure she left out like major ingredients here and there on purpose. But that was my aunt, right? So I have all those recipes and it's always like, okay, what did she leave out? Because I'm sensing there's something really important here that I probably, and I've been able to figure it all out. But yeah, that was my aunt. All right, listeners. Well, happy holidays to everyone. Thank you so much, Lisa Potter, for joining us. God, we love it when you come on. I have so many ideas right now. And frankly, things that I'm like, I'm not going to do that this year. I have made the decision here. Awesome. Well, everybody, we would love to get pictures and notes from you guys about what you do at the holidays and what you find to be special and unique. We'd love to see those. So reach us and send those to us. Like, share, forward. If you're not a member of the Pod Squad, you know we're going to remind you constantly. Please do that. Anything else, Karen?
No, I just want to thank everybody for joining us. I'm pretty sure we're all going to love that pear martini.
Oh my God, that is on my table.
Right. And I think, just be deliberate at this time of year and just really decide, this time of year can be so overwhelming and busy anyway. So just choose what brings you joy. What do you like to do? And then like Lisa says, play to everybody's strengths, have them do the other things and it'll all work out.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, that's the other thing, listeners. If there's other episodes you want us to do with Lisa, like she seems to be part of the Drinks with the Girls family now, which I'm so excited about. So let us know. So, all right, everybody, cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers.